Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back, everyone. September 14th, 2022. What it do? We
Mm,
got our trusty sidekick, our co-host, the one that fucking set all this shit together, like the intro you see that comes in, the music, all that stuff. That dude, he is the mastermind. Willie Schmidt, DJ,
what is up?
Silly Willie, Wet Willie. What do you want to go with nowadays?
Just Willie, man. Just Willie.
Just Willie, just Willie. And to the left of him, yes, first time. Well, this is the second time after our technical
Technical difficulty,
difficulties.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Now I would
The
be,
first 30 seconds don't count. This
yeah,
is the serious 30 seconds of
redo.
action.
Here we go. We're live.
Yes, Nick
We're doing it
Niemeyer.
live.
Yes, aka DJ Sound Ninja, Nick Niemeyer in the house. What's up, dude?
Man, happy to be here, man. This is, the exciting times, the beginning here, the season here, week two, big week two at that.
Week two, what it do? Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Both teams coming off of week one victory. We had the Chargers going up against the Raiders. They seemed to handle them pretty well from what I saw, and obviously you saw what the Chiefs did to the Cardinals. I know you always got to keep looking ahead, but my goodness, they look so good.
That was definitely a statement win that first week. It kind of shut a lot of people up, I think, as far as our offense.
Yeah,
It'll be a challenge next week, though. Chargers are tough, I think they won 3 of the last 4, maybe at Arrowhead, or 5. Herbert,
yeah.
Mahomes
I
rivalry,
know.
that's going to be.
I know we were talking about it earlier today, but yes, the last four road teams in this rival have won the game. So Chiefs playing out in Los Angeles and vice versa. Chargers playing at Arrowhead. The road teams won. So hopefully we can break that streak this week. Thursday night football. Really, they like you point out, they are a tough matchup every time, but they are going to be without some key players. I know it was reported that J.C. Jackson, their top corner that they picked up in the offseason, he's going to be out, as well as Keenan Allen, arguably their best or second best, probably second best behind Mike Williams now. So, what's your all's takes on that? What about matchups? What do you think? We'll start off Sound Ninja. What do you got on that?
well, obviously, Keenan Allen being out's, huge. That's a big hit there for the Chargers. Obviously your wide receiver dealing with hamstring issues here in week two. Not what you really want to have going on. J.C. Jackson, obviously another huge hit, dealing with that ankle issue. But honestly, on our side of the ball too, dealing with some big injuries and a lot more of them.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, we know you don't really hear Andy Reid talk a lot of negativity, but he was not pleased with the field conditions in Arizona
Not
this
at all.
past weekend and losing Trent McDuffie. Willie, what do you think? I mean, we've lost him for at least what 3 or 4 weeks. He got put on IR. Is that right?
Yeah, he goes to IR, so 4 weeks at least, but I mean, you're looking 5, 6 maybe, but it's gonna be a test for the young guys. I mean, McDuffie's young too, but he's a first round pick. It's gonna be a test for Watson and then some of the late round picks. They're gonna have to step up into that role because we're still out Fenton too, I believe. So those
Yeah,
young guys. Williams is gonna have to step up.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
do a
did
whole
get to
lot.
see a little bit of Watson last week. Thankfully, some of those younger guys, I really think all of them, all of our draft picks got in there and saw some playing time, but now they're going to see more. And arguably, they're going to see some pretty good talent out there too. The Chargers, I know everyone talks about the Chiefs offense. Chiefs offense is they've proven it again the best in the league. Bar none. I know people are still hyped about the Bills. Chiefs offense is the best in the league. But Chargers, they're Austin Eckler, Herbert, Mike Williams. We talked about him a little bit. They're not much to scoff at. However, I did look at. I don't know if you all saw the stat lines last week. Mike Williams only had like 2 catches for 10 yards. It's something stupid. He didn't do nothing in that game against the Raiders, but I don't think that we'll hold him to 2 catches for 10 yards. I'd be happy for sure, but I don't see that happening.
Trying to see if there's anything in the chat, but there's not.
No, not yet. I posted it up earlier. I need to do a better job about the schedule and stuff, and not putting it on the same day. We'll get better at that as we come along here. But yeah, as far as the matchups, Nick's right. I mean, there's both sides. We got some guys down. They got some guys down.
And honestly,
I don't.
we did have a lot of more. Obviously we're banged up a little bit, but did have a lot of people. In that full participation. But you got to think about that. Patrick. He's still dealing with that left wrist. It's he says it's feeling better, but you're not gonna say, oh yeah, it's hurting. You know what I mean? So, with
Right,
that
he's
one,
not going to sit out any games with that for sure.
yeah, Juju was a full participant, so we need him, but at the same time, man, he's been dealing with so many injuries here that it's like, how much can you really put on him? Obviously, doing great at spreading the ball around. I feel like Herbert's a similar quarterback, can do much of the same thing, so I don't see him to really key on a key player or anything like that. I think he's much he's going to spread it around just like we're going to do. I think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a lot.
I do too.
I don't even know what the what the spread on it is or what
the over. The last time I checked, we'll talk about that a little bit later. So the over for the points was 54.5. So you're talking about both teams being in the high 20s. If you're talking about if you're talking about a close game.
Sure.
Now we also need the Chiefs to win by 5. It was a 3.5 point spread. I know it sounds crazy, but 3.5 sounds a lot better than 4.5. When they raised it to 4.5, I got a little iffy about it, but we stuck with it. I still took the Chiefs to cover it, but yeah, they're picked 4.5 is what I got them at. I picked that in several of our bet lines. And couple of the overs. I didn't go under on anything. I looked at basically the past 4 or 5 matchups between the two, and they're average between 58 to 64 points. Typically it's a 30 to 28 ball game, like low 30s, mid 20s is what they're rolling at. And if you talk to a lot of the expert sports bettors, they're like, "Oh, don't bet because of patterns." Well, I'm betting because of pattern on this one. But yeah, it's projected to be a high-scoring game, even with Keenan Allen out. I think that J.C. Jackson and McDuffie also being out kind of knocks that out a little bit. But
total.
Yeah, the key matchup for me that I really like to see, especially with Khalil Mack going back to that defensive side, I want to see their front 7 against our offensive line, because I was really pleased with our offensive line last week. And if we can follow it up with a week 2 performance of how they were last week against against Bosa, Khalil Mack, like it'll be Van Noy. Van Noy's not a bad player at all either. They got a solid front 7 on that team, so this is
definitely your prove it. This is definitely your prove it week for that, because they're fresh. Week 2, still early in the season. They're healthy offensive line or defensive line. Our healthy offensive line. Trey Smith, I think might not play. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really see the rest of our guys. I know McDuffie was out for sure. And Bucker. McDuffie and Bucker were the 2 that were kind of our key losses. And again, losing your key kicker when you're talking about that small of a point spread, shit like that matters too. So I wasn't not too happy. But
they had a good old-fashioned duel in Kansas City, a kicking duel on Monday.
They brought in 6 kickers.
Yeah,
6 kickers. That's nuts.
A wild Justin Reed showdown.
Right. And then I ain't gonna lie, when I saw that and I don't know if it's the glasses or what, but when the Colts cut Rodrigo Blankenship today, I was like, man, can we bring in one more kicker? Just one more guy to try out. I don't know. I hope that it doesn't hurt us too bad, because fingers crossed this is the only week that we'll go without Bucker, but yeah, it makes a difference. He's definitely a top 5 kicker in the league.
Oh, for sure. That's the points you can bet on. That you're gonna get there, and then obviously we saw Justin Reed miss the extra point. Obviously it didn't matter, but when points do matter in a close game. It's easy to lose by 1 point in this league. So, obviously, you want to bring in a kicker. You want to bring in somebody who does that. Somebody who that's that guy's job. And so you just take a guy and you put a little bit of faith in him, and he's a rent-a-kicker. So
I still let Reed do the kickoffs though. Like,
who
would you rather have tackling? Who would you rather have tackling if they do return it? Justin Reed or Harrison Butker?
That's true.
I need that. I need that Madden card, that Justin Reed Kick Power 99 card. So I'm a big fan of letting him do the kickoffs because send it right through.
Yeah.
Even Mahomes touchdown. He just kicked it through the field goal. Beautiful. Yeah, he's got some kick power on him.
He does. Oh yeah. You think he could have kicked that 64-yarder the Broncos went for? No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Could you believe that? Did you guys watch that? We're gonna go off subject for a second, but and I hate it because Nathaniel Hackett came for the Packers. That dude probably shouldn't have a job. I don't know if you all saw that game. That was bad. And then he called. So essentially, what happened? There's 30-some seconds left. 2 timeouts. They're right at about midfield. There may have been a little bit of time less than that, maybe closer to 20 seconds. Either way, they still had 2 timeouts, and it was 4th and 5. It's about a 64-yard field goal, so you either go for the 4th and 5, and then if you get it, you still got your timeouts. You can call it a timeout. Or you kick a 64-yard field goal, which I think they said has been done once in the NFL in the entire history of it. And so they kick the field goal, and you fucking completely miss it. And then they call the 2 timeouts, even though there's no way that they have any chance to get the ball back. He still calls the timeouts at the end after the fact. It was really, really weird. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, obviously he's been questioned a lot, and it's even I don't. Did you see the Manning cast with
No, I didn't. But I think about that. After week 1, have you all ever heard of people legitimately questioning for someone's job after the first week? That's crazy.
Yeah,
but it was that bad. Like and on top of that, the Broncos had like 12 penalties for 130 some yards, and it was just 2 fumbles on the 1-yard line. Man, I was not happy. Javonte Williams wasn't going to get his 60 rushing yards. I was completely off on that bet, but it was just even more frustrating. I won't bet for the Broncos again. They can piss off.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a splitting the running back duties. It was just about even. But yeah, both of them with a fumble. So geez, it's not like
right. Can you believe that though? You pay your quarterback $200-some million, 4th and 5. Nah, sit on the bench, dude. We're gonna have this guy try to kick this long fucking field. Like, that's crazy. It just blows my mind.
That is not when he's saying let's ride, let's not he's not
let's ride the bench.
let's take a 64-yard field goal. Let's ride. It's 4th and 5. Let's ride. That's a new one for him.
That poor guy.
Yeah.
He is just the corniest motherfucker in the league.
Yeah, he's like the kind of guy that when he retires, he's gonna be in like movies. You're gonna see him in movies, and it's gonna be he thinks he's gonna be like really good at acting, but you're just gonna look at him and be like, man, this guy can't.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
let's ride.
So, where do you rank Herbert compared to Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes?
He's behind him, but he's not too far behind him.
Sure.
I'd put him at a top 5 quarterback right now. He'd be probably sitting in that 4 or 5 range, but I would put Mahomes at 1, Josh Allen at 2. Maybe, yeah. I mean, Herbert could be right there at 3 or 4. I almost wanted to say put Tom Brady in there still, but him and Aaron Rodgers both, I think this is going to be the year where you see those two decline quite a bit. I mean, the Packers are always rough that first game, but
yeah, they didn't look good at all.
No, neither one of them. The Tom Brady barely beat the Cowboys, a struggling Cowboys before Dak got hurt. Then Dak got hurt. It was just a train wreck. And granted, the Packers, they always struggle the first game of the year because Aaron Rodgers don't show up in Green Bay till the night before the freaking game, that first game. So it's expected, but it'll be, I don't know. It didn't look good. There was so many years that the Chiefs, we didn't have a good quarterback or head coach. Now we got both, and you look at some of these other teams around the league, and man, I'm pretty thankful for what we got. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you're looking at week 1, Patrick Mahomes, gets named AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So what more could you want from your quarterback? I mean, obviously, what a strong start, and so there's a lot of good quarterbacks. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the AFC West, but at the same time, Russ was going in a hostile environment, his former team. So
Yeah.
a different look there. It's a Monday night primetime game right out of the gate.
Seattle's not an easy place to play.
Yeah, and the man got booed. He thought he was going to get. I don't know if you saw him in the post game, but yeah, he was like, "Oh, it looked like he just watched his dog get ran over." He was deflated. This man thought he was going to run out, and these people were going to cheer him, and he ran out, and they just booed him, and it just deflated him.
Out, right?
Now, I don't even. And I don't want to push the narrative or even really think about it. If it ever got to the point where Mahomes left and came back, we can't boo the guy. Dude won a Super Bowl for us.
Yeah, man. It all depends on the circumstances. Maybe maybe they didn't think Russ was doing enough. I don't know how you can say that.
Granted, he did throw a pick on the 1 yard line to lose the Super Bowl.
Who makes that play call, though?
Yeah.
I know.
So, that forever goes down.
I know. And, no one ever talks about, that he's the one that made the throw. But, yeah, you don't fucking run a slant route on the one Pete Carroll.
Nick Niemeyer does, Madden Ultimate Team.
I throw picks.
No comment on that.
Yeah. Throw picks all the time. Yeah, don't ever do a slant on the goal line. Bad.
Right, it's not good.
It's usually always never going to work. So.
Okay, so I kind of talked about the key matchups that I'm looking at. I'm really looking for the Chargers front seven as well as our offensive line. Willie, what's kind of the key matchup that you're looking at this week?
I mean, I think it's really just kind of what we talked about, the quarterbacks. That's your number one matchup. Those are the ones that control the pace of the game. They're going to control the flow of the game. They're going to control how many points they put on the board. If Mahomes plays like he did last week, we're going to be good. Herbert didn't play bad last week, but I think the Raiders had like 3 or 4 turnovers and they only put up 24 points, so you're not producing points off those turnovers. So our young defense hopefully can attack a little bit and keep them off the board, but I think it's going to be a shootout. And it's just Mahomes loves that pressure and loves those shootouts. You look at big games like the Rams and stuff like that. So he'll be fired up for this game, I think.
Yep. Nick?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's going to be a shootout. Obviously, the Chargers have, Austin Eckler in the backfield, a little bit better, receiving and running back. Clyde, he did get, 2 tutties, the last week. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep up that gameplay. He knows that he has somebody right on his tail that's willing to, take that RB1 spot. So I think all season long, especially in the very beginning of the season, you're going to see both those running backs, Pacheco, is who I'm talking about, run very hard. You got Ronald Jones there setting in 4th. You're not going to see him unless somebody goes down.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting to see what comes out of the backfield for Kansas City. We're going to have to keep throwing the football. We're going to have to throw the football to the running backs. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a lot of passing yards.
Yes.
That's just hard-nosed football. That's what we play. Air it out.
Yes, and that was one of the lines that I bet on. One of the parlays I had was Chiefs over 4.5. The over at the 54.5 points. but I'm betting on both quarterbacks. I had Herbert. His over was 270 something, which I'm like, eh. And Patrick's they raised up. It was 290 is what I think they had on this week. Last week he was a 284, so they bumped him up a little bit. But still, I feel like both those quarterbacks under under 300 passing yards, high 200s, but I feel like that it's manageable. I was kind of surprised, but
you're gonna see a lot of Eckler coming out of the flats. I think we're gonna see a lot of Eckler versus Bolton matchups. And
yeah,
Eckler
and that'll
Bolton
be yes. That's what I was going to touch on as far as your receiving backs on both sides, because Van Noy, they got some pretty mobile linebackers as well as we do. I think that will be a really good matchup to keep an eye on. So yeah, tomorrow 7:30. Yeah, Chargers injuries are piling up. They really are. I think that they've got the more significant injuries right now. I would definitely take ours over theirs. J.C. Jackson being out's huge. Don't get me wrong, losing McDuffie's big, but J.C. Jackson, he's their dude in that secondary.
And they still have some fast defensive backs, so obviously losing him is huge, but definitely don't count out our receivers versus their D-backs. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and it's going to be interesting to see who can continue to beat their man all night. And obviously McColl, he has got to have a breakout game sometime, and maybe it's in LA.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about it last week, and I think McColl and Mahomes were just a step off. They barely missed on a couple of those deep routes, so that's going to come with a little bit more timing. I mean, they played together for 3 years, of course, but McColl's in a new role. I think that timing's going to be there. I think going from Tyreek to McColl, maybe McColl is just a step slower, so maybe that ball is overthrown just a little bit. So
yeah. And hopefully we see more MVS we'll go into the sports betting here in a second as we kind of wrap up our pregame talk for tonight. But some of the long shots, Sky Moore, MVS, I don't think Juju didn't have a touchdown either. He wasn't a long shot bet for touchdowns, but Sky Moore was like at 700 odds, but if you looked at the stats, and this was kind of surprising to me, he was only out there for 13 plays, I believe. They didn't really use Sky a lot last week.
Put me down for Fortson.
Yes, Fortson, he moved up some. So week 1, he was kind of a long shot. He was sitting about 700 where Sky is. He's bumped up to about 480 or 500. That whole national narrative of three of 6 in the red zone and all 3 of them are touchdowns. That thing kind of got passed around throughout the week, but that is a crazy stat. 50% of your NFL catches are touchdowns. Crazy, right?
It's a decent stat, you know what I mean?
Yes. The one, and I almost want to bet it every week because the Chiefs are the only team in the league that would probably get this, but the fullback touchdown. About once a year, old Andy Reid draws up something. Michael Burton this week is at about a 2,400 odd for a touchdown. I almost wanted to throw down $10 on it because it's a long shot, but I guarantee he'll get one touchdown this year. And it seems like, from memory, and my memory, obviously, it's been a little altered throughout the years. I think that we run a lot of those wheel routes with the fullback and shit during the Chargers. It just feels like that we do a lot of the gimmicky stuff against our divisional opponents. I wanted to go with the bet so bad, but I didn't. So I would still pick Burton. I think Burton or Sky Moore is going to be my long shot this week. Willie's got Fortson. Niemeyer, who are you coming in with your? Yeah, Fortson isn't it. It's still more of a long shot than the odds makers have it at a pretty good shot. It's not as big of a shot as Gray. Gray was the one that I put on lines this week. Noah Gray and Mike Williams were my touchdown guys for the week.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Fortson, obviously. I think, with him getting in the end zone in the preseason, him getting in the end zone last week, they're building a lot.
That's their end zone guy.
And so, we're going to see more of that. Travis Kelce is obviously the red zone target. And now if you have two hot red zone targets that can, be physical, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I think
you
that's
put all
kinda
three of
where
those
we're
tight ends on the field. You can run behind those tight ends, or you can, pass out of that. That's deadly.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
might get Gray involved a little bit just to show a little bit more. So, Gray wouldn't be a bad long shot.
Right. I did him. I got to figure out how to pull up the my window on this stream to show the stuff, but I bet him in one or two lines. I didn't do him in everything cuz that'd be stupid, but one or two of them I picked him in. There's got to be a way. I was trying to mess with it earlier before we got set up, but I'm not for sure.
I do believe that comment was from, it looks like Keys from like the Back Talk guys, Back Talk Bros.
Nice. I was wondering. I saw it pop up there, and it looked like that they were. Who'd you say it was? Back Talk Bros.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys coming by.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for stopping by,
Check out their
guys.
show.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned several of them to me, so I'll have to pop in and see some of their stuff. It's football season, man. There's a lot of good channels that are pumping out some content, so we do appreciate you all hanging out with us tonight. Any last words that you all want to cover before we get off here for this evening?
No, I think it's going to be a fun, exciting game. I'm very upset I don't get to go. It's one of those weekday games where I can't make it. Otherwise, I would be there because Arrowhead will be rocking, man. There's a lot of hype behind this team. I just hope they keep up the competition. You talked about bringing Pacheco in. I think that's pushed Clyde. You bring in some of these younger guys in. That's pushed a lot of these other older guys. And we got rid of some old veterans, to make room for these young guys. That's creating competition in the locker room, which I think is going to be good. Flying around playing football, man. I'm excited.
Yes, very exciting start to the season for sure. Niemeyer, what do you got to close out for the night?
Man, I'm excited for some high-paced football. If you're in Kansas City, come see me tomorrow night. If you're not going to the game, obviously, if you're going to, you need someplace to go watch the game at tomorrow night, come see me. I'll be at 10 Roof. That's in Westport, starting at 6 p.m. We're gonna have a little. There it is. It says 7, but they said we got a lot of people that are coming. We gotta move it up an hour. So that's give the people what they want. So we're gonna start it. We're gonna have a good party. They got game day platters. They got big screens inside, outside. LED walls. Gonna have the game on. All kinds of cool stuff. So if you're in Kansas City, you're looking for a place to go watch a Chiefs game at, come out tomorrow night, 10 Roof. See you there.
You definitely want to go see Nick. It's always a fun time. We have a great time when we go and see him. So.
Yes. Yeah, and I've heard good things about Tin Roof before. It's been a while since I've been down to Westport, but yeah, I've always heard that's a pretty hopping place. And with DJ Sound Ninja in there running the ship,
you already know, man.
Can't miss.
Wheels of steel, baby. Yeah, that's right. Come out.
Well, again, everyone, thank you for the support. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe. We got DJ Sound Ninja on Twitch. We got Schmidt Happens. DJ, it's Nick Niemeyer? I thought you were Sound Ninja on Twitch.
What are your handles?
You got 2 handles. Yeah, you give out your own handles before I butcher it.
Yeah, well, it used to be DJ Sound Ninja. Well, it is on PS5. DJ _Sound Ninja. Yeah, that's on. But yeah, I go by DJ Nick Niemeyer now. So
there you go. That's smart. Yeah, just use your name to brand yourself, man. I like it.
You heard it here first. All right.
Yes. Okay. All right. I'll be sure to switch up my notes. I'll get it right next time. I can't disrespect you like that.
Pencil me in. Right?
Get that in the notepad. Willie, where can we catch your stuff at? I know you got Twitch and we got our YouTube, of course.
We got our YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys have liked, that channel. You can also find me at Schmidt Happens 23 on Twitch. We do a lot of Madden streaming. Me and DJ Nick Niemeyer. We're trying to get that chemistry down. It's tough. It's a battle, but
it is. It's a new game.
It is. You all are getting better though. And then of course you got myself, the co-host of All Chiefed Out on YouTube with Willie Schmidt. A couple times weekly. We'll be having DJ Nick Niemeyer. See, I got you there. We'll be having him in here quite a bit as well. This is fun, man. I really enjoyed having you in here.
Yeah,
it was a good
Thanks
night.
for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Time, so
go Chiefs. Let's get the W tomorrow, and then hopefully we're talking probably not Thursday because it'd be pretty late after that night game. More than likely Friday, Saturday, somewhere in the next couple days we'll be coming out with our post game video. Hopefully talking about the dub. So
Yep, let's go.
Yep. Take care, guys. Thank you, and